All right, White Sox fans, it's Brett Ballantini here with Chris Sale, and one of the best wipeout pitches on the White Sox clearly is Chris Sale's slider. We're going to talk a little bit about his slider here. First of all, just curious what the grip is that you use for your slider.
Honestly, I just find one of these horseshoes right here. It doesn't really matter. Obviously, you try to find when you first get the ball, you try to find a good seam on it. And I just put my middle finger right here, other finger here, and then I grip. I hold it pretty tight in my hand. And then, when I honestly just throw it just like a fastball, but just come off the side as hard as I possibly can. Just pretty much just trying to pull this finger, almost like you're pulling the ball down.
Is it something that you came across right away and sort of got a feel for, or did it take a while really to work with the pitch, develop it to the extent that you've got it going right now?
I mean, obviously you work with different grips and stuff. I actually earlier this year was throwing a four-seam like that slider, and then one day just playing a game of catch, I started throwing it like that and saw a little bit more break to it, a little bit more depth, and then I was like, hey, I'd like to try this out in the bullpen. I started threw it in the bullpen a couple times, and it just honestly just had a little bit more, a lot more action and sharper, tighter spin. I just kind of started running with it and just started messing with it a little bit. Obviously, I'll move my finger up and down. The more down it is, the bigger the break is. The more up my finger is, the harder it is. So, just kind of like to play with those two different. It's almost like having two different pitches.
At what point did you discover it or first really give it a shot? Was it high school, college, younger than that, or even in the professional level?
I started actually throwing a slider in college. I used to throw a curveball, because I used to throw from over the top. And then once I dropped down, I can't really get on top of the ball from down there. So just started messing with it. Asking guys. I'm constantly asking guys how they grip pitches and what they're thinking and stuff. But this is actually just something I just kind of stumbled across, throwing it like this. And most of the guys prefer the four seam, holding it like that. But I don't know, man. I just got a hold of this one and it started working for me. So I'm not going to change it.
Does the motion, you have a little bit of a different motion out there. You think that has any effect on the effectiveness that your slider has versus maybe another guy?
I mean, I think everybody's just got different pitches anywhere. I mean, I can talk to Thornton and talk about how he throws his slider and try to mimic his slider exactly, and it's not going to be the same. So I just think different people have different ways of throwing their pitches, and it's like Mariano Rivera. He could sit here and tell me for a week and a half how to throw his cutter. I'm not going to throw the cutter as good as he does. So honestly, I just feel like I'm lucky to kind of stumble across it. And, it's been working for me, and hopefully we keep rolling with it.
Now, Randy Johnson's a guy you've told me that you've admired. Look forward to meeting and perhaps having a little bit of a study session with. But you've got the wipeout slider. That was his killer pitch, maybe one of the best pitches in baseball history. So what are you guys going to talk about?
I'd say his was probably a little bit better than mine.
So you still think you might have something to talk about with him?
Yeah, oh yeah. I got a ways to go until I'm anywhere near his ability.
I'm going to stick to writing. He's going to stick to being a killer lefty out of the bullpen. That's Chris Sale. I'm Brett Ballantini. We're on CSNChicago.com and Comcast Sportsnet.